Hey, welcome to a Psalm for today. Have you heard people say God and Jesus are on the side of the poor? When I hear that, it makes me wonder, A, is there somebody that God is not on their side? B, are all poor in the same category, etc.? I think it would be better spoken to say Jesus modeled for us certain groups of people or certain experiences that people have about which he is deeply concerned. Our psalm for today, this week, is about the gentleness of God. Psalm 18:35, Thou hast given me the shield of thy salvation, and thy right hand hath holden me up, and thy gentleness hath made me great. Humility, meekness, gentleness are terms and concepts that are maybe cousins, we might say. As I think through the life of Jesus, and I think through, well, is there a certain way I should be gentle? Is there a way that would show meekness? Is there a way that would show humility? And if so, do we see that in the life of Jesus? And today I want to talk about two situations, two collections of people that I think are specific bullseyes. They are right in the center of the target for a person who is seeking to live a gentle, meek, and humble life. First is children. For whatever reason, when all the evil in the world kind of boils down to its core ingredient, a lot of that evil is toward children. You can consider things like trafficking. You can consider a variety of indiscretions, let's say, toward children. Jesus models for us that the gentle life, the meek and lowly, or the humble life, is one that is mindful of children. You can probably recall the Bible verses that say, better you were never born than you offend one of these little ones. Now, that there's forgiveness. If you've offended a little one, turn that over to Jesus, ask him to forgive you, walk in his forgiveness. But when you reflect on how can I best show a gentle lifestyle, how can I best show humility and meekness, I would suggest Jesus models that is answered by serving children. Matthew 19, then were there brought unto him little children, not just children, but little children, that he should put his hands on them and pray. And the disciples rebuked them. But Jesus said, Suffer little children, and forbid them not to come unto me, for of such is the kingdom of heaven. And he laid his hands on them and departed thence. Jesus laid his hands in blessing. He laid his hands in prayer on the children, and the little children at that. One guy told our church when I was just maybe 14 or 15 at Anchorage First Assembly, and his name was Johnny Barnes. He was the founder, or at least the leader, of Royal Rangers. I couldn't believe I got to meet the leader of Royal Rangers. Back in the day, I was Ranger of the Year, I think it was, or Pioneer of the Trailblazer of the Year, maybe. But nonetheless, I got to hear and meet Johnny Barnes. He was a tall man, and I remember looking way up at this tall guy. And one of his opening lines of training men to work with Rangers was, no man stands so tall as when he stoops to help a boy. Or, for our talk today, no person stands so tall as when they stoop to help a child. There is something godly about helping children. There is something pleasing to God about a pure heart and a pure eye and a pure hand and a pure ministry for children. So is there a target audience for gentleness for you and me? I think there is. The target audience would be children. Secondly, I think when all of the sins of the world boil down to its final core components, those sins are committed against women. I think women and children are thus target audiences for the person pursuing the gentle life. I call this wounded women that God allows us to serve. In the meanwhile, his disciples prayed him, saying, Master, eat. This is John 4, the woman at the well. But he said unto them, you know what, guys? I got meat to eat that you know not of. In other words, come on, you haven't eaten all day. And he's saying, I have a food that you don't understand, and that is being gentle and kind and showing grace and favor and mercy to this woman who's in front of me. Jesus said unto them, my meat is to do the will of him that sent me, and to finish his work. Say not ye, there are yet 4 months, and then cometh harvest? Behold, I say unto you, lift up your eyes and look on the fields, for they are white already to harvest. He's saying to the disciples, right in front of me is what I was designed to do, and that is to talk to this woman at the well. And they were shocked that Jesus would talk to a woman. They were shocked that he would talk to a woman at the well. They were shocked that they would talk to a woman at the well with that woman's background. But the point for this talk is that Jesus had wounded women in his ministry target. He wanted to serve people, especially children, especially women that are wounded. Notice that the situation of the woman at the well, there was no husband there. Where are the men who caused these problems? And Jesus says, hey, you know what? The guys that have been in your life have been pretty rotten fellows, but I'm going to show you a gracious man. I'm going to be a kind and a godly man in your life. And he's saying to the disciples, you're missing the whole point of this thing, that we have a wounded woman here that is at the well, and she is why I came. I came to serve people like this. So children and wounded women are recipients of the gentle life. John 8, woman taken in adultery. And the scribes and Pharisees brought unto him a woman taken in adultery, and when they had set her in the midst. My PhD is in trauma-informed practices, the implementation and outcomes of trauma-informed practices in adult church services. Is there anything trauma-informed about embarrassing a woman and setting her in the midst of men and trying to make her talk or embarrass her? Is like, these guys are basically wicked, and they are vile, and they are mean, and they were scribes and Pharisees. They brought unto Jesus a woman taken in adultery. She's scared, undoubtedly. She's embarrassed, undoubtedly. And these men all felt all high and mighty, and they were potentially calling for the death penalty, because that could be what happened in Judaism for adultery. When Jesus had lifted himself up, this is a few verses later, and saw none but the woman, because they all left, because Jesus put them all on the same hook. He said, you know what? This woman was caught in adultery, but you're caught in this, you're caught in that, you're caught in the other thing. And we don't know what he wrote, but we know he was writing. And he said to her, listen to this. They set her in the midst. Now, Jesus reversed the midst, and it was just her and him. And he said, women, where are those that accuse you? Where are thine accusers? Hath no man condemned thee? And she said, No man, Lord. And Jesus said unto her, Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more. There is great gentleness. There is great meekness. There is great humility in serving the wounded women of the planet and serving the children of the planet. There's more to it than that, but that's our starting point for today.